President, do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your Resolute Desk?
タイムマガジンにイーロン・マスクが、大統領の机の後ろで座っている写真がありますけども、それに関するコメントは何かありますか？
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
まだタイムマガジンは廃刊じゃないんですか？
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are diving into the latest boost that is taking the internet by storm. Time magazine provocative cover featuring Elon Musk seated behind the ionic Resolute Desk, a sport traditional associated with the US president. Let's break down the cover, the reactions, and what it all means.
Then there's an image that is circulating throughout social media and the mainstream media as well tonight. It shows Elon Musk there behind the Resolute Desk. Talk to us about this, and has the president weighed in?
It is an interesting image, and the president tried to laugh it off today when he was asked about it in the Oval Office, basically saying sarcastically, oh, is Time magazine still in print? Tom, I can tell you very much that the president knows that Time magazine is still in print. He has both real and fake covers of Time magazine with him on it displayed around Mar-a-Lago. He cares deeply about the way these things are covered in the mainstream press. You'll remember during the first Trump administration how much the stories about Steve Bannon being a figure behind the scenes, allegedly pulling the strings in the Trump administration, got under President Trump's skin. He's tried to laugh off similar stories about Elon Musk to date now 3 weeks in. But we'll see if that, becomes more of a story in the future as past incidences have suggested that it may.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
So this is the new cover of Time magazine. What do you think Donald Trump thinks about this? You don't have to wonder. See, he was just meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister, and reporters took the opportunity to ask him about it.
Mr. President, do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your Resolute Desk?
タイムマガジンにイーロン・マスクが、大統領の机の後ろで座っている写真がありますけども、それに関するコメントは何かありますか？
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
まだタイムマガジンは廃刊じゃないんですか？
I didn't even know Time magazine was still in business. Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know Time magazine was still around? When you met with them, did an interview, had a whole fucking photo shoot, you clown prince of jagaloons? You didn't know they were still around? All that tells me is this really stings. This really, really gets at you, and I'm here for every moment of it.
That's Time magazine. And Elon Musk is behind the Resolute Desk, the president's desk. That's the new cover of Time magazine. They're basically saying that Elon Musk runs the show in the government. And that some CNN reporters basically asking Donald Trump about the Time magazine cover. I don't know. I saw on the news today that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon Musk is running, they're basically now going to be looking over the military, Pentagon, and education departments. So I feel kind of bad for people in the United States right now, just because this guy who's unelected, and I'm not sure he's qualified to do something like that, is going to be looking like they already have access to everybody's information. I'm not saying he's going to do something bad, but yeah. The military. What do you think about that?
I'm not going to call him president. I'm not going to call him Donald Trump. From now on, I'm just going to call him Elon's little bitch.
Well, this is what the latest Time magazine front cover looks like. Donald Trump was asked about it, and Trump had nothing to say. Then he paused a little bit, and he said he didn't know Time magazine was still in business. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been very close. during, before, and after the election. But some people have tried to limit his access to Trump. Donald Trump's top manager has put in place rules to set Elon's access and influence within the administration. Elon wanted an office in the West Wing near the Oval Office, but he did not get it. Instead, his office was put in a completely separate building. Elon Musk is running the Department of Governmental Efficiency, also known as DOGE. Elon is in the process of making the government more efficient, which to him means firing a lot of people. Elon claims he's saving $1 billion a day through his efforts in Doge, but there's no actual evidence that's happening. Elon has been focused on eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to save the government money on those.
They just asked Trump in a press conference what he thinks about this Time magazine cover. This one.
Time magazine is still in business?
Let me read you a quote of what he said last year about Time magazine. That year they put a hairless cat on the cover and made it Person of the Year. This goblin in a skin sack said,
It's a tremendous honor. It's an honor to be on the cover. It's the second time, and it's an honor. It's an honor for the second time.
And he blew himself for 30 seconds and then said, I think the media likes us more this term. If they don't, we'll just have to stake them on the hand. If they don't, we'll just have to stake them on the hand.
Then he said, I've been on it many times, and I don't know who holds the record.
Nixon with 55. Vice President Trump has been on there 43 times. President Elon's catching up though. I think he's at like 7, 8 now. You know who else was on the cover of that? Adolf. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Two of these things are just like the other. Two of these things are also the same.
So the new cover of Time is Elon Musk seated at the president's desk. The article within talks about how he is operating without any kind of controls or checkpoints. Apparently, when they reached out for comment, Doge then sent these requests to the White House. Of course, the White House refused to comment. But there is so much here. This not only is, I think, meant to troll Orange Man, because Time has done this before, and the last time it was like that Steve Bannon was actually in charge, which there was like a whole news cycle about how Orange Man couldn't stand that. But the coloring of this and like the placement, it looks very Roman salute. You know what I mean? I think it's hitting on a whole host of things with one image. And Orange Man has already said like, oh, Time's still in business. I didn't know that. But I bet he did know that when he was on the cover right after the second inauguration, and he's been the Person of the Year twice. So let's just see where this news cycle takes us.
So Time magazine just placed Elon Musk on the cover of its latest issue and seated him behind the Resolute Desk instead of Donald Trump, likely in an attempt to taunt Donald Trump or goad him into a meltdown. So here's the cover, and that is Elon Musk, not Donald Trump, at the Resolute Desk, implying that Donald Trump is merely a puppet whose strings are being pulled by his billionaire donor. Not gonna lie, this is an accurate portrayal of what is happening in our government. Elon Musk created an agency out of thin air called Doge and has now used that agency to justify defunding, dismantling, or outright shutting down legitimate federal agencies. That's usually something only the executive branch can do, or a king. Hopefully this cover triggers Donald Trump and stirs the pot between the co-presidents, because if they are divided, they will have a tougher time implementing their horrific agenda. Let's hope this magazine makes its way onto Donald Trump's Resolute Desk.
My God, this is the most predictable meltdown you have ever seen. So Time magazine decided to put Elon Musk on the cover of their latest issue. And we all know how much Donald Trump is obsessed with being on Time magazine's cover. He was asked what he thought about it, and this is what he had to say.
President, do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your Resolute Desk?
タイムマガジンにイーロン・マスクが大統領の机の後ろで座っている写真がありますけども、それに関するコメントは何かありますか?
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
Is Time magazine still in business? No, he's not salty at all.
Alright, the Time magazine decision to put Elon Musk behind the Resolute Desk on its latest cover has sparked an intense debate, with people analyzing the deeper implications behind the imagery and its potential political undertones. The cover's import extends beyond just a provocative visual. It speaks volumes about how society views leadership, power, and the intersection of business and politics. For many, this is a clear statement about Musk's influence not just in the tech world but in global affairs. He is not a politician, yet he is arguably one of the most powerful individuals on the planet, with control over multiple industries that affect daily life: space travel through SpaceX, transportation with Tesla, social media with X, formerly known as Twitter, AI with XAI, and even defense contracts with the US government. By placing him behind the decks, Time is suggesting that his level of power is incomparable to or even surpasses that of elected officials. The positioning of Musk at Resolute Desk naturally invites comparison to past presidents, particularly Donald Trump. Some people interpret this as an international taunt directed at Trump, as if implying that Musk, a fellow billionaire and social media provocateur, is a more competent or forward-thinking leader. Trump's relationship with Musk has been complicated, sometimes praising him, other times criticizing him. But there is no denying that both men command large and fairness loyal followings. Reactions to the cover have been polarizing. Trump supporters see it as a calculated insult, another example of the media substitute undermining him. They argue that Time is playing into the broader liberal media agenda, elevating Musk, who despite some conservative leaning stance, has distanced himself from Trump to create an alternative billionaire figure for people to rally around. Meanwhile, Musk's own fans view the cover as recognition of his unparalleled influence, a symbol of how visionaries and entrepreneurs are taking over spaces traditionally occupied by career politicians. Musk himself responded in a somewhat nonchalant manner, downplaying the to-do list that was featured in the cover art, emphasizing that his real priority remains Musk's colonization. That response itself is telling why politicians focus on elections and policy. Musk is thinking about interpretarial expansion. His long-term vision sets him apart from any political figure, reinforcing the idea that he is playing a different game altogether. Another interesting layer to this is the role of media. Time magazine, like many legacy publications, is in a constant battle for relevance in an era where traditional print media is declining. Controversial covers generate discussions, drive engagement, and keep people talking about the brand. This isn't the first time they have used Musk to stir conversations. He was named their Person of the Year in 2021, and that decision also led to widespread debates whether they genuinely believe Musk deserves to be equated with a US president or if this is purely a strategy move to spark controversy. The fact remains it's working. There's also the broader cultural shift at play. Historically, political power was concentrated in the hands of elected officials, but today's world, corporate leaders wield enormous influence. Tech billionaires are shaping policy, dictating the future of industries, and even influencing elections through platforms. Musk's purchase of Twitter, now X, proved that social media control can have tangible political consequences. His direct engagement with world leaders, policymakers, and military contracts further blurs the line between business and governance. Some critics argue that this is a dangerous thread, that unelected figures like Musk have such outsized influence undermines democratic process. Others see it as a natural evolution, where those with the best ideas and the most resources take on leadership roles, regardless of whether they were voted in or not. Neither the way, Musk's presence in political discourse is undeniable, and this cover only cements that reality. Trump's reaction, dismissing Time magazine by suggesting it's relevant, is a predictable move. His strategy has always been to downplay any media narrative that doesn't favor him. But the irony is that his own supporters see the cover as an attack on him, so the narrative persists regardless, even if Time's instance wasn't explicit to taunt Trump. The imaginary alone invites that interpretation. What this cover also does is open up a broader conversation about whether Musk would even actually enter politics in an official capacity. So far, he has denied any interest in running for office, and legally, as someone born in South Africa, he wouldn't be eligible for the presidency. But that doesn't mean he can't influence policy in other ways. His endorsements, funding, and direct involvement in governmental contracts make him a political player whether he wants to be or not. In the end, this cover is about more than just Musk or Trump. It's about the shifting nature of power in the modern world. It raises questions about the role of business leaders in governance, the influence of media in shaping perceptions, and the evolving definition of what it means to be a leader. Whether you see it as an endorsement, a critical, or just a strategic piece of media sensationalism, one thing is clear: it has succeeded getting people talking. Thank you for watching, and let's continue this conversation in the comments below. Let us share our thoughts and perspective with one another. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the story and more. I will see you in the next video.